Fun fact, Formula One is the only sport that is named after its rule book. Formula One is the rule set by which people are allowed to design their cars for racing. And the entire sport is named after it. Because the boundaries of the rules are exactly what propel the sport forward. The way that it works is that these different car manufacturers decide, hey, for the purposes of racing, we look through all the rules, and there's nothing that explicitly says that we can't put this particular design on our car. And so they do it that way. Until either the association says, actually, that is against the rules. It might not have been in perfect writing before, but we're putting it very plainly now in the rules. So you can't do it. Or the people that manufacture their car that new way, it works out really well, so everybody starts copying them, and then there's no advantage anymore. And then the next innovation comes along, and so on, and so on, and so on. The whole sport is fueled by the fact that the edges of the rules are just gently being pushed up against. Isn't that just a big reflection of how innovating at anything works? We do something that is within a specific set of guidelines, and we just say, hey, but what if I just did this one thing differently? It still technically is me doing whatever this skill set is. But this is how I stand out in it. Now, it's not always a perfect system. And there are artists that have pushed boundaries of their genres and had people say, hey, that is not the actual genre anymore. You've stepped out of it. Sometimes that means that the people judging were just close-minded. Actually, that's often how it works in the history of music criticism. But sometimes, actually, it's the best thing for that artist. That, you know what, you're right. I have left that genre in the dust, and now I've innovated over to this new genre. I don't know enough about music history. I know a lot about music. I weirdly don't know a lot about music history. I don't know fine details about how this genre morphed into this genre, morphed into this genre. So it's hard for me to give specific examples. From what I understand, New Wave sprang out of the punk movement. Right? Is sort of, I don't know, young, cool music that started in the UK, but maybe it was just a little bit too glossy to be considered punk, or maybe just too approachable to be considered punk. And so, New Wave. Yeah, you push up against the rules, and either you create something new within your sphere, or you just create your own sphere. But either way, the edges are always being pushed up against. And I think that's really, really, really cool. There is an innate human need to innovate. That's all that it is. I don't want to feel like what I'm doing is the way that anybody else is doing it. And the great thing is, as I've said before, there's no way that it can be exactly the same way that anybody has ever done it before. If you just keep doing it enough, because there's only one you. And so it's always got to go through this one unique filter before it gets out into the world. Whatever it is that you're doing. And that's the filter of this small individual self. Now that being said, You can fall into a trap also of discounting influences, and that's never a good thing either. We should praise people for having done something in the past that was at its level, just as much as we should praise people who are doing things at whatever level they're doing them today.